Well, hello again. It's Friday, the 15th of March, and we are going to talk a few things Gluster today. So, Amar's with us, and I think the key question that we want to know is how's Gluster 6 doing in terms of release? There was RC1 target that was set for this week. There was a lot of testing. Amar, how are things?
Yeah, thanks, Sankarshan. The highlight of the week is actually the RC1. We did make a RC1 release after identifying all the upgrade issues. So the initial testing looks really good. At least we didn't hit any upgrade issues, and after the upgrade, also things are running fine. So this time, for a change, we extended the testing onto
Mm-hmm.
from just the x86 64 to other platforms.
Oh, really?
So
What did you end
it
up
looks
testing
good.
on?
So I did test on ARM on
Okay.
AWS, ARM machine on AWS,
Okay.
and I did runs a couple of tests. It looks good.
Oh, so we can actually sneak in a small note then in the release, right? That if I mean, give it a try. If there are issues, we can probably take a look at it and try and make progress. That's a good thing. Yeah, okay. I didn't know that you were doing ARM. Go ahead though.
Yeah. So that is the thing. So no major issues. Nobody reported any issues after the RC1. So things look fine.
And
And
you focused a lot on the
with
upgrade, right?
this,
In the test cycle, you're saying that the upgrade was one of your concerns, topic of concern that you had.
yes, because all other tests seemed fine. I mean, even in RC0, we didn't had any issues when things started from fresh. So
Mm.
it was already faster. It was good for the application. All that was there. The issues which were hit were all upgrade blockers, upgrade testing. So we did test a lot on the upgrade. So I shared a spreadsheet recently in a mail thread. It
Mm-hmm.
covers most of the things on the upgrade only. So we
Mm-hmm.
focus mostly on the upgrade.
Yeah. I think what we need to do going forward though is that keep that spreadsheet intact or something and link it from like a pre-release document that we maintain and say like if each release
Mhm.
goes through a similar set of tests. I mean, I know last time we talked, you said that it might take longer, but turns out that testing doesn't take much longer. Just like sit down and go through it one test at a time, one cycle at a time.
I totally agree. I think
Yeah.
the thing is, if you don't test it, the issue we face in the whole release cycle, merging a patch, identifying, all of that is much more costlier than spending one extra day or like all this hours extra before the release. So
Yeah,
this
yeah.
saves a lot of time, a lot of headache, mental
And
press.
and it also will end up addressing some of the concerns we have read and seen on the list, right? Where users have said that I had a stable system, I upgraded, and then all hell broke loose, and then I had to go back to my stable release and all of that, which obviously is something we do not want.
Yes, and I think that series of the mails are the major reason for this focus on the upgrade test.
Hmm.
And I believe we did meet the expectation there. At least we whatever we wanted to achieve, we are doing that. So it is good this time.
Cool. So you are confident of making the target of 18th, which is the Monday, I believe, right? Yeah. Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Fantastic. So, but nonetheless, we, as usual, we appreciate more feedback from our users on the release, pointing out if there are gaps in any of the release note pieces that we push out. So we are still open to feedback and are still aggressively looking forward as to how things go along on that, right?
Yes, very much. I mean, we can only improve when we get feedback, right? Otherwise, we'll be like, I mean, in the shell. We believe
Yeah.
everything is good. We will never hear feedback. So it's
Yes.
very critical for us.
Speaking of user interest, I saw two interesting things that I don't know if you want to spend a bit of time talking about it. There was this issue that I had posted about a renewed interest in the Alpine Linux thing, which I don't know if anyone is actually doing it, but if there is interest, I think it was you or Caleb who mentioned that if others do join in, do some testing, it will be easier for us to check where things are breaking.
Yes, I think that is both of us responded to the thread, and Caleb did little more deep dive than what I did.
Yeah.
And yeah, looks like currently it is about compiling, so we haven't even gotten to test it. So technically, once we get compiling going, then we can get to testing. But of course, it needs more interest and somebody volunteering
Yeah,
to look
somebody
into
who
the
has
other
a
outside of
bit
Gluster.
of time and expertise, I guess, and more than us at this point in time to sort of give it a nudge, and from there on we can pick it up. The other thing that I wanted to highlight is that there's this, uh, there's, I think it's one issue, or I don't know if it spans more than one issues of building on S390X that I see happening being discussed on the list on the issue tracker. And I'm not sure as to where it is at, but do you know if it's going well or there's still some help needed?
The if I just look into the issues, I think it looks okay. There were some concerns. The whole thread starts from, oh, it is not compiling, or I can't build a RPM to, okay, now everything is running. I see some log messages which are confusing or errors. What is this? So it looks like the process started, so it is
Mm-hmm.
all good. Uh,
Good.
so another thread is we also, like I talked about ARM, but I missed on the Big Indian Linux on Z system, which
Yeah, right,
IBM
right, right. Yep.
maintains,
Yep.
which also provides, yeah, so which provides like systems for open source project to build and test upon. So there again, Gluster compiles fine, it runs fine in many configurations, but some of the regressions were failing, and we are trying to get over it. So if you are testing on them, want to run some configurations, it basically runs like some basic high availability configurations. But if you are running bitrot or say some other features of Gluster, there may be issues. We want to nail it again. So that is after Gluster 6 we will pick it up. But yeah, these are the external different platforms we are trying to extend.
Yeah, and on a different note, I was going through the Get reviews, and I realized that the Glusto pieces had a lot of open reviews. So I sent out a note to the automated testing mailing list just to nudge the maintainers to decide what they want to do. Because unlike Gluster, I believe they do not have a abandon after a certain number of days rule in place yet. So we'll see how that comes across. I'd really like to see at least a running instance of Glusto that's being consumed on our daily runs. So next time around, perhaps on the maintainers meeting, I don't know if you guys want to bring it up on the agenda, and we can see what comes out of that. Uh, the
Oh, I think
last,
you
yeah,
touched
go
a
ahead. Go ahead.
no. You touched a very important point. Testing. I think that should be our focus in the future. Get it a lot more things automated, so our users and ourselves as developers feel confident of every line of code we write and every release we make. So it is critical for us. I think we will
Yeah,
touch upon it.
Yanniv pointed out that he has a Vagrant script that deploys things quickly and runs a few tests. So we need, at some point, perhaps we need to figure out what's happening on that too. But all right, you have any other things that you want to highlight this week?
Nothing much. I call upon some of the developers to write blogs on the features they worked on
Yeah.
and our users about feedback. So those are the two things.
Yeah, I just want to end this with a shout out to Ravishankar because he had volunteered last week to keep an eye out, sort of like a community sheriff kind of thing on the IRC conversations, mailing list, and stuff like that. And he ended up highlighting open conversations to a bunch of developers. I'm not sure who's doing the same thing in the coming week, but Ravi did quite a lot of work in terms of ensuring that nothing escapes in terms of which were serious issues that were highlighted. So that was good work.
Cool.
All right,
Yeah,
Amar.
I should agree to that. Yes, it is true.
All right. So evening already. So thanks for joining, and I'll see you around next week then. Thank you.
Yeah, only with RC. I mean, Gluster 6 release, not an RC. So yeah, thank you.